What is going on, YouTube family? I am sorry, so sorry that I haven't made a video in 6 days. I just been so busy with things, working not only my 9 to 5, but working a couple other side projects that I do. Um, just trying to catch up on sleep. Sorry that I haven't been around, guys. That's on me. And also, I feel like the world of combat sports has also been pretty slow this past week. Like, there's not much to talk about anyway. But last night was Bkfc, and I'm here to talk about the main event and the co-main event. Uh, awesome fights. Um, Conor McGregor attended the event. He looked like he was having a blast. It seems as though he's trying to immerse himself back into the world of combat sports. He showed up at the Garcia Davis fight. He showed up at this BKFC event, and he's talking about the end of the summer for him and Michael Chandler, which is pretty soon, sooner than I thought. So I'm down to watch that. But yeah, he showed up. He looked like he was having a great time last night. He had the BKFC belt on him. He would be lovely in the BKFC world. I would love to see Conor fight there. Conor's ability to manage distance, Conor's ability to counter strike, to set traps that people fall into, especially if he's fighting these other MMA fighters. If you take just the boxing and you're going to put him in there with an MMA fighter and they have no gloves on, it's KOs all day for Conor McGregor. So as much as I would love to see it happen, obviously it's never going to happen. Daddy Dana's got him locked up to a lucrative contract. So that'll never happen. But let's get into this co-main event of the evening. Eddie Alvarez, Chad Mendes. I love both of these guys. I love me some Eddie. Love me some Chad. Fucking legends of the game. Let's just keep it 100. Chad Mendes has had a great career over in the UFC. He actually dropped Volkanovski as recently as his last fight in the UFC, I believe. Had some wars with Jose Aldo. Had a great fight with Conor on 2 weeks' notice. If he had more time, who knows what would have happened. He was having his way with Conor for most of that fight until he got tired. Yeah, Chad's the man. Eddie Alvarez, former UFC world champion, had a lot of great fights. Beat Justin Gaethje. Had some wars with Dustin Poirier. Had that big fight with Conor that he came up short in. Conor had a miraculous performance there. And, yeah, these guys are legends of the game. And these guys went to war last night. Hell of a fight. Fun to watch. BKFC is a little brutal to watch, though, because it just looks like it hurts. Like, obviously, all combat sports hurt. But these guys, they got their knuckles exposed. And as much as they're punching on people, their knuckles are probably killing them. I know from some boxing that I've done that, you know, if you're landing hard punches, like even with wraps on, even with gloves on, 16-ounce gloves on, your wrist can get destroyed for months. And, yeah, these guys went to war. You saw Chad shaking his hand out at points in the fight. Yeah, it's a brutal sport. And much respect to the guys that step in there. But while it is a brutal sport, it's actually a sport because you can defend yourself. And it takes technique and skill and grit. Not like that stupid power slap crap where you're just standing there waiting to get instant CTE and you have no defense and it's literally whoever can stay awake the longest. Fuck power slap. Straight up. But, yeah, these guys had a very, very close fight. In a weird scorecard, I had given the fight to Eddie Alvarez 46-45. Very close fight. I think I had the first round going to Eddie. I had the second round 10-8 Chad. I had the third round 10-8 Eddie. The fourth round, what was it? I think I had it for Chad 10-9. I think. I'm trying to remember. And then the last round, I had like 9-8 to Eddie because I thought Eddie won most of the round, but then they both got dropped. So, like, you deduct a point for each drop and then who won the round. So, yeah, 46-45 Alvarez is how I scored the fight. Very awesome fight. I love watching these guys compete. I hope Eddie does BKFC more. Eddie Alvarez versus Mike Perry is the fight to make. Let's see it. Perry said he's down. Eddie said he wants it. And if BKFC wants to capitalize on the people that came in to watch this fight and bring them onto another card, they have to keep bringing the exciting fights, keep bringing the name value from people we know, and people will watch Eddie Alvarez, Mike Perry. I'll watch it for sure. Which leads us into our main event of the evening. Oh, wait, before I go on, I heard a rumor, because Eddie Alvarez, he landed an uppercut right near where Conor was, and then he pointed over to where Conor was. And I heard a rumor that Conor told him to throw the uppercut, and when he landed it, he pointed to Conor like, yeah, thanks. And that's a really cool moment if that is what actually happened, because obviously we know the history between those guys. So, yeah, that's really cool. I just wanted to mention that. But yeah, the main event comes on. I didn't make a prediction video for this due to my little hiatus that I had. Again, I apologize for that. But had I made a prediction off screen, my prediction was I had Luke Rockhold winning. I wasn't sure how he was gonna win, but I just felt like the range and the size, and I felt like he would be a step above Mike Perry in skill. Luke Rockhold should have retired from all these kind of big top tier events. He should have never did. Like, if he wants to grapple, go ahead and grapple. Like, no one watches grappling. But like, if like he should have never did another top tier event after the fight with Paulo Costa, because he went out against Paulo Costa. He went out like a dog. He went out like the old vet who gave it everything, gutted it out. He said "fuck you" to Paulo and then dropped him with a punch right after. He threw like a beautiful body kick in that fight. That was like so nice. He was rubbing his blood all over Costa's face. He just looked like a badass, and that's the image of Luke Rockhold that was gonna sit with all of us forever. And it's like, cool, awesome, good on Luke. What a savage. Then he comes into last night. Every single time Mike Perry landed a punch, Luke Rockhold looked like he would rather be literally anywhere else except the ring. And then he wound up literally taking his mouthpiece out and quitting because there was something wrong with his tooth. Maybe his tooth got knocked backwards or it got knocked out. I'm not quite sure exactly, but I didn't do any like reading up on it afterwards. But dude, you're in a bare knuckle boxing fight. What did you think was going to happen? Did you ever watch Bkfc? Do you see the way these guys look after the fight? Did you see the way these guys' hands look after the fight? Like, did you not know what you were signing up for? That's what confuses me, because, like, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's a joyride getting your tooth bashed in with somebody's bare knuckle. So, yeah, it sucks, but, like, what did you think was going to happen? That's what I'm confused about. Luke Rockhold looked the exact part of the guy who's a pretty boy, handsome guy last night that doesn't want to break a nail. And that's not actually Luke Rockhold. He's actually a legendary fighter, a savage. But last night he looked every bit of that role. And it's sad because he could have went out a savage. But now we have this everlasting memory of him taking out his mouthpiece and verbally quitting to a guy who fought at welterweight in the UFC who was nowhere near close to a title shot in any facet of his career. Luke Rockhold was a 185-pound fighter, world champion, went up to 205, fought the guy that eventually won the title, and now he's getting his ass beat in BKFC by 170-pound little pit bulls. And good on Mike Perry. Mike Perry, every single time I pick against this guy, he wins. I thought for sure Michael Venom Page was going to make him look horrible. I thought MVP was going to embarrass him, drop him, knock him out. Make him look silly, make him look like he couldn't land. Nope, Mike Perry wins in overtime somehow. I hate that. That's stupid. But yeah, he beat my MVP. He beat Luke. He beat a couple other guys, a boxing guy. He won a triad combat fight. What I'm confused about is why is Mike Perry not the world champion of BKFC? He's not the champ, right? I don't think he is. But he should be. He's the face of BKFC right now. He literally runs BKFC. Every time you think of BKFC, you think about Platinum Mike Perry. Who is Platinum Mike Perry going to fight next? And something I would love to see is Mike Perry versus Nate Diaz in BKFC. So after Nate Diaz does the job for Jake Paul, that's the fight I want to see. Nate Diaz, Mike Perry. There's a lot of exciting fights for Mike Perry. Why don't we see one of these influencers go do a BKFC fight? That'd be pretty ballsy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike Perry is he's becoming quite the draw. He had a face-off last night in the ring with Conor McGregor. Obviously, it was like a playful face-off, not to build hype for any kind of fight. But yeah, and he paid his respects to Conor, and yeah, he's becoming a bigger deal than he ever was in the UFC, and good on him. He's finding his own lane, and he's taking it. It's kind of like what Kevin Lee was attempting to do with the 165-pound division in Eagle FC, but Eagle FC kind of just gave up on life, and Kevin Lee conformed and went back to the UFC. But Mike Perry is really finding his own lane. And there's a lot of good fights for Perry. Like, he could do the Till fight in BKFC. That, you know, him and Till have already built that fight up so much that that's a huge fight. He could fight Nate Diaz. He could fight Tyron Woodley, even though they're friends. Like, see Tyron get in there. That'd be fun. There's a lot of fights for him. There's a lot of people on the market. So I'm excited for the future of BKFC with Mike Perry. And it's becoming a thing, you know. BKFC is actually becoming a thing. And it's nowhere near the scale of mixed martial arts or boxing, like not even close. But for us combat sports fans who want to watch any and every form of fight, it's becoming interesting. And I like the steps that they're taking. Good on the dude that runs it. I forget his name, David something. Yeah, I remember watching it when Malignaggi got beat up by Artem Lobov after talking all that smack. And, you know, it's only grown since then. So, yeah, good on BKFC. I'm excited to see what you guys do next. And, yeah, congrats to Mike Perry. Congrats to Eddie Alvarez. And congrats to Chad Mendes, too. Chad Mendes, you put up a hell of a fight, buddy. Yeah, guys, I will be back soon. Probably drop another video tomorrow. I'm going to try to have a good week for y'all. Come up with some good things to talk about and actually be present. I'm so sorry that I took time off. I want to keep the momentum going on this channel so that we can build and build and build. So, yeah, forgive me for my absence. I'm back and I'm ready to go. Love y'all. Subscribe.